All summer long on the Everyday VOpreneur podcast, I am giving everyday VOpreneurs the opportunity to come on the show and ask me one of their pressing business and marketing questions. We call it the Everyday VOpreneur Summer Series. And hopefully, I've got some good advice to offer. And hopefully, the things that we talk about are of relevance to a number of people who are watching the show and listening to the show so that you can get some free advice from this as well. So today, I welcome to the show Leigh LAIRD. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being able to be on. It's fun.
So tell me what your question is.
Well, okay, so you and I have been connected on LinkedIn for a long time,
Mhm.
and I've been following your content there, and I'm loving your documentary
Okay.
that you're doing.
Yep.
So, because I know that for both of us, this has been a goal to get into this particular genre of VO because it's just fascinating. There's just so much depth there. So, what I want to know is how you create your videos and also how, what the response has been. Are you getting traction
Yep.
within, with producers who produce this type of content? But first, I want to know, how do you come up with your ideas, your content? How do you write it? And how do you produce the videos? Are you doing that in Canva? Are you doing it here in Riverside? How do you do that?
Okay, so lots to unpack there, and I
Yeah.
think that I can give you some insight into all of those different things. So let's
Okay.
start with topics. The topic, the foundation of the topics comes from there are certain networks that I would really love to be able to get in with.
Okay.
And so part of what I'm thinking about is what kind of show would air on Discovery? What kind of show would air on History Channel? Which kind of show might air on Nat Geo or whatever? So I'm thinking
Mhm.
about that first. What are the networks that I want to be a part of? And then from there, I can branch out into, okay, let's do some documentaries around ancient history. Let's do some documentaries around extreme weather and natural disasters. Let's do some
Okay.
documentaries around science and nature and that sort of thing. So I can start to kind of figure out what are some of the topics that I'm interested in.
Okay.
From there, AI becomes my friend. I know I'm going to catch crap for this, but it is what it is.
I
So
wondered about that. Yeah.
yep. So
Yeah.
I can go into ChatGPT or Claude. I use both of them,
Okay.
and I can say I really want to do some documentaries under these subject matters and give it a series of subject matters, and then I can just say, give me some ideas. We can start coming up with some ideas, and then from there I can say, okay, I like this one, I like that one, don't like that one, I really like this one. Ooh, let's come up with more like that, and we
Okay.
kind of work through there. So that's one way that I do it.
Okay.
And then the other thing that has happened is because I have been doing these for a while now, I'm also able to take my analytics. So I can take my YouTube raw data from YouTube that shows my
Okay.
view counts. I
Okay.
can I can download my raw data from Instagram, which shows my view counts,
Right.
and I get that from Facebook as well.
Okay.
And I can feed that to the AI and I can say, based on what you're seeing here, are there certain themes that seem to work better than others?
Ah, okay.
And
Okay.
maybe can we lean a little bit more into that as well? And so I'm using the data to help me identify trends that it may be worth making note of.
Right. Right.
From the scripting, a lot of the scripting starts with AI,
Okay.
and I give it a format that I want to follow. But then I can go through and kind of double check certain points, certain facts, and I will tweak things from here and there. I don't like this line, I'm gonna change that, or I wanna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
this way or whatever, but I'm definitely using it as an assistant for doing the scripting.
Okay.
And again, I know I'm gonna catch crap for that, but look, the reality is I don't have time to do
Yeah.
all of this, and
Yeah.
this is one of those ways where I can use a tool like that to be of great assistance to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then I've got, now I've got a long list of ideas that I can
Mhm.
work through. And I take into other consideration, like, in December, I did a bunch of videos that were more focused around Christmas theme
Sure. Yeah.
when tornado season is very active in the US, I take that into consideration. When hurricane season is active, I take that into consideration. When we're in the winter, talk about the polar vortex or storms or, so I try to play
Yeah.
seasonalities and things like that as well. Not that that matters as much because these videos exist evergreen, but in the moment when
Mhm.
you release it, if it's relevant, that certainly makes an impact.
Sure.
So
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
kind of the pre-production, we'll call it, creative process is that's kind of how I'm working through that. And then I have a table in Notion, which is software that I use. It helps
Okay.
me keep track of everything.
Okay.
From the production standpoint, I record the videos on my phone. So I just have a arm mounted in my booth that I can just connect my phone to. So that just
Okay.
points to record the video. I
Okay.
record the audio through my studio, through my
Sure.
microphone
Right.
and
Right.
onto Adobe
Yeah.
Audition. And then I can
Yeah.
sync those two up. So I use
Okay.
Adobe Audition for recording the audio, and then I use Adobe Premiere for editing the video. So I can
Oh, okay. Okay.
So when I put the video into Adobe Premiere, I can sync with the audio that I've recorded so that it's not my phone audio, but it's just phone
Right.
video. I don't have any special equipment or tools or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I am also using a subscription to Envato Marketplace, which is where I get the music, the stock video, the stock photography and everything like that. I've got this Envato Marketplace
Okay.
subscription,
Okay.
and I've been very happy with what I've been able to get from there. Side note, when I'm brainstorming topics, that is also one of the things that I have to think about. Can I find video to go along with this?
Okay.
And so there
Okay.
have been some topics that have come up that I've thought, oh, this would be a great one, but trying to find footage for that would be really, really difficult.
Okay.
And so I just kind of have to put that one to the side until I can figure out a way to do it
To
maybe
do
later
it.
down the
Yeah.
road, or maybe I
Yeah.
find a new source or something like that. But Envato Marketplace, by and large, has been fantastic, and so that's what I'm using. The
Okay.
reason why I chose to do the videos the way I did, where I'm in the upper quarter
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
screen, is because the whole point was to showcase this is a human narrator,
Ah, very good.
right?
Yeah.
I want people to
Right. Right.
see.
Yeah.
Now, do I
Yeah.
still every once in a while get comments about, oh, this guy's totally AI? No, I do. I still get those comments every once in a while, but I wanted, it wasn't just about creating the documentary and telling that story. Obviously,
Right.
that's a big part of it, but I really
Yeah.
wanted to demonstrate I'm a human. This is me in the booth doing this voiceover, telling this story. And so that's why I chose to do the video the way that I did.
Yeah, but that I didn't even think about that aspect of it, but that's key.
Yeah.
That's key, and it I think it all just sort of, from a marketing standpoint, it makes you all the more memorable.
Mhm.
Somebody who's happens upon it on one of your platforms. That's just, that's gonna just
It makes a difference.
it does, yeah,
And for every comment that I get that's like, oh, this guy's totally AI, there are 5 comments that are, it's so nice to hear a human voice,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's so much of the content is obviously not.
right,
Now,
right,
to the second part of your question, is it working?
yeah,
Have I booked a documentary as a result of it? No,
no,
not yet. Have I expanded out my network as a result of posting this content? Yes.
okay,
And there are a few other things that are going on behind the scenes as well. So it's a overarching strategy that I'm building.
okay,
So doing the videos, the whole point is to showcase the narration and,
right,
hopefully get in front of some producers who will see it
yeah,
and
yeah,
take interest.
yeah.
And that has happened. I have had
Oh, good.
people who have commented on the
Yeah.
videos, and
Uh-huh.
some people who've reached out to me through LinkedIn or whatever. It was a slow build. And I think that's one of the other things. I think a lot of people give up on this way too early. You post your first 5 or 10 videos and you don't go viral, and you think, what the heck? It's not even worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So just this week, the week that we're recording here in June, mid-June, I had my first video cross 40,000 views. So up until
Really?
that
Wow.
point, like I think
Congratulations.
yeah, but it's been like a
Yeah.
year, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
taken a long
Yeah.
time of consistently posting.
Yeah.
And so and irony, that video has crossed 40,000 views on Instagram, and it died out at 1,000 on YouTube. Like, and
Really? Oh,
like
wow. Oh,
it's
that's
hard
interesting.
to know
Yeah.
where it's going to take off, or which
Yeah.
one's going to work or whatever. But there are a couple of other things that have come up as a result of this that weren't part of my initial plan, but have certainly become part of the overarching plan now. So one is I have created multiple playlists, or I've created multiple clips rather,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
my online casting profiles.
Okay.
So I'm taking a bunch of these different DocuShorts that I'm doing, and I'm cutting them up into 15 or 20-second clips. And we created an actual docuseries playlist. Now, because I have so
Oh,
many clips, what we're actually
yeah.
going to do is we're going to break that down even further. Science documentary playlist,
Ah,
travel
okay.
documentary playlist,
Okay.
natural
Okay.
disaster documentary playlist, right? Like we'll
Yeah.
turn all of those into multiple playlists, and every single one of those clips becomes another SEO opportunity through the online casting. And so that has certainly opened up some opportunities because I'm starting to rank really well in the Voice 123 search. And
Oh,
this week
okay.
alone, I've
Okay.
had four direct invites, including one direct booking, not for documentary,
Ah.
but it's all been because of how well I've ranked, and a couple of them have referred to certain reads that they saw or heard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Ah,
that's one part of the strategy. The
okay.
other part of the strategy is every single one of these videos that I'm creating, I'm building a page for on my website.
Okay.
And that page on my website is being optimized for
Optimized. Mhm.
GEO, generative
Mhm.
engine
Right.
optimization.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so the idea there is I'm going to have so many pages on my website that are going to ultimately build me as an authority when somebody's looking for a travel documentary narrator or a historical documentary narrator or whatever. I'm going to have
Yeah.
pages that are going to direct people to me because I've built that content out. So I'm
Yeah.
using this as part of a bigger SEO, GEO strategy as well. And that, again, I've been working on that for, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 months at this point. I just started popping up about 2 weeks ago into a couple of the LLMs for a couple of the documentary searches. And so it's starting to work. I've
Oh,
got a real
wow.
uphill climb
Yeah.
because what I
Yeah.
have learned is that when you are looking for a male documentary narrator, you are going to be fed Morgan Freeman and you are going to be fed David Attenborough.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Okay.
guys
Well, hey,
literally own all the SEO in the documentary space.
it's
So
only a matter of time before Mark Scott's name
that's
is
right.
right up
So
there. That's
so I mean,
right.
I've got my work
Yeah.
cut out for me, but
Yeah.
that's I think that's the other side of this that people don't see. You see the video because I
Yeah.
post the video on social media, but what you don't think about is all the different ways that that video can ultimately be reused.
Okay.
Right? I can
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
entirely new demos from
Yeah.
all of these different clips. I can make entirely new and separate playlists on online casting from all of these different clips. I can build all of this content on my website for SEO, GEO, all from
Yeah.
all of these
All
different
from
clips. And so I'm
yeah.
taking this one thing that I'm doing, which are these videos, and repurposing them in so many different ways. And
Yeah.
so to me, at this point, it's just a matter of time. It's
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
showing
Yeah.
up consistently,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
evaluating the strategy every once in a while. So
Mhm.
I talked about this in an earlier episode, but recently I downloaded all of my analytics or all my raw data from Google Analytics and from Google Search Console,
Uh-huh.
and I gave it to Claude and
Okay.
said, I want you to take a look at this and tell me, is the strategy that we're trying to do working?
Uh-huh.
And Claude's able to go through and analyze and say, well, here's what's working, here's what's not
It's
working,
not.
and here's what I think we
Yeah.
can improve. And so then I can go to Claude and I can say, okay, I want you to go fix all 50 of those pages that we built.
Really? So how does Claude do that?
With Claude Cowork, so if you are on the paid subscription for Claude, there's a feature
Yeah.
that is in Claude that is called Claude Cowork, and it can actually take over your browser. It works in Google Chrome, and it can
Huh.
literally log into your website. And I'm sitting there doing something completely different, and over beside me is another browser window that's open, and I'm watching Claude go through and update all the
Wow.
web pages, right? And
Wow.
so totally rebuilding those web pages to accommodate this new strategy.
Mhm.
Now, that would take me weeks if
Oh,
I
yeah.
even did it at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
In reality, I
Yeah.
probably would never do it because I don't have time. But
Yeah.
so this is a continuous and iterative process as I try to
Yeah.
make it all work.
Yeah.
But and the other side of it is that I'm having fun,
Yeah, yeah, because
right?
you're creating content that's interesting to you, and it's a direction that you want to go. So given the different platforms, because you mentioned YouTube, it went viral on Instagram, but like only about 1,000. So what platforms? So you've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Which ones are working best? Which ones? What kind of trends do you see there?
I would say that I have just now started seeing the most traction on Instagram.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think one of the reasons for this, one of the challenges of social media now is these algorithms are built for you to do one thing. If your account does multiple things, you
Yeah.
post about being a mom, you post about
Yeah.
being a voice actor, you post about gardening, you post about
Yeah.
baking sourdough bread, whatever, the algorithm can't figure out who you are. And so it can't figure out who to feed your stuff to. Whereas if you're only posting one type of content consistently, then the algorithms can start to identify who the audience is for that kind of
Okay.
content. And
Okay.
so I've
Okay.
recently started really just narrowing the focus of my Instagram channel to the voiceover side of things. I'm not posting podcast stuff there right now, and it's all like an experiment. But
Okay. Okay.
as I have just been posting only the documentary short content and, strictly voiceover related content, it seems like that's been something that has helped. I've watched my view counts on Instagram go from a couple hundred to I started getting a couple thousand.
Oh,
Then I had some
wow.
videos that got
Great.
around
Yeah.
8,000. I had one that got 12,000, and now this most recent one that's got 40,000. And I think
Yeah.
it's because the algorithm is finally starting to identify an audience. I
Yeah.
still say, though, that there's massive value for me to post on LinkedIn, and I will continue to post them on LinkedIn because on
Yeah.
LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I am directly connected to documentary producers and
Producers.
video
Right.
producers and
Right.
stuff like that, right? And so
Yeah.
I will continue to post there because
Mhm.
ultimately I know that people will see them there. And the reality is once the video is created, it's not hard to share it
Yeah.
across different platforms. But how I write the post for Instagram is going to be different from how I write the
The
post
post from LinkedIn.
from LinkedIn, which will be
Yeah.
different from how I write the post from YouTube. So I'm not just
Yeah.
writing one post and blitzing it everywhere either. I'm trying to be strategic based on audience
Yeah.
and whatnot. I don't get as many views at this point yet on YouTube, although I've had a few videos that have taken off and done, 10,000 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm also building just this giant back library of really evergreen
Mhm.
content, right? Like
Mhm.
when Christmas
Yeah.
comes around and people start searching for, why does Santa use reindeer? I literally have a DocuShort about why
Oh, you
Santa
do?
chooses reindeer, right? So that will stay relevant for every Christmas for,
Oh,
as
sure.
as long
Yeah.
as I leave it there. And so I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the other side of it is I'm continuing to build this library that will continue to stay relevant.
Relevant. Yeah.
I just
Absolutely.
think though there are ways, and obviously we're talking documentary because that's
Mhm.
the genre that I'm going after. You could
Mhm.
just as easily do this if you were into character and animation
Oh,
and
sure.
you
Yeah.
generate some sort of
Yeah.
character and you create some sort of video. I recently edited up some clips from my new commercial demo, and I've been posting those short clips from my commercial demo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, just using some stock video and putting something together. And does it look like a fully professionally produced high end commercial? No, not really. But
Yeah.
that's not the point. The point is that it's another piece of content that's got my voice on it that I'm able to put out there. And so I just think even though in this particular use case we're talking about one genre, I think that it's fully adaptable to any
Yeah.
number of different genres that you would want to be able to do. But
Right.
the
Right.
the greater point here, I think, is taking advantage of content creation in all the different ways that it can be taken advantage of. So it's
Yeah.
not strictly just about posting a video. It's about creating clips and playlists and making demos and
Yeah.
content for your
Yeah.
website and right. It's all the things
Yeah. So
all
it's
tied together that make it work.
right. Right. So how long would you say it takes you to develop one video from start to finish, from the time you kind of nail down your topic and your AI helps with the content and then to the finished product? How long does that take you?
I would say probably 1 to 2 hours. I think
Okay.
I
It's
think
not
it
bad.
depends on the video. Some videos it's just, you go into
Mhm.
you go into the Envato Marketplace and start doing a search for tornadoes. There's a million tornado videos, and it's really easy to just download a bunch of tornado videos and edit something together.
Yeah.
Whereas a different topic that has different themes or tells a different kind of story, you might have to think a little bit harder about what kind of video could I use for the visual for this sentence. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's just that side of it that takes a little bit longer. With AI helping me come up with the topics and then doing the
Mhm.
writing and then me just going through and cleaning up the final draft, tweaking a few things, fact checking a few things. I mean, that's not super time consuming. It's just a couple of minutes to go into the booth and record it. It really is just about the amount of time that I'm spending on the edit. And like I
Yeah.
said, that
Yeah.
just really comes down to subject matter and what kind of
Yeah.
stock
Yeah.
footage that I can find.
Yeah. But when you think about the long-term payoff for you
Yeah.
in this with just the massive content and how that's, how that's boosting you on Voice 123 and any other platforms that you're on. Um, and your GEO,
Yep.
just your being able to be found. I mean, it's that is time very well spent. So, yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things that I've often talked about when you're doing this type of marketing, the direct
Mhm.
self-marketing is that it is a long game. It's and
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and I am
yeah.
playing
Yeah.
a long game. I started making the first videos a year ago.
Uh-huh.
Uh, did a bunch of them, had to take a break just due to life and some things that were going on. But then in that break, I was able to
Yeah.
sit down and go back through everything that I had already created and
Mhm.
look at the strategy with a little
Yeah.
bit of hindsight and say, okay,
Yeah.
here are all the videos that I created. What worked, what didn't? Where can I make improvements? What do I have to do differently? Um, the amount of art and nuance that goes into something as simple as the text that you put on a
Yeah.
thumbnail,
Uh-huh.
right? Like that can
Right.
literally be
Yeah.
the difference
Yeah.
between whether
Yeah.
you get views or don't get views.
Yeah.
Understanding the importance of that first 3 seconds, that's that's something that I've been working a lot on lately.
Mhm.
And so I might go through 5 or 6 different versions of the first line of a script, just trying to figure out which line is gonna be the one that hooks me and makes me wanna watch a little bit longer, right? 'Cause
Okay.
if you can get
Yeah.
them for the
Yeah.
first 3 seconds, then they're likely gonna stay a little bit longer.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the
Yeah.
things that I have consistently found, because most of my shorts fall into the 50 to 55-second range,
Okay.
and I have average view times as much as 40 seconds, which is really high
That
because
is.
for
Yeah.
most short
Yeah.
content, people are watching for 5 or 10. And so if I'm
Yeah.
able to have an average of up to 40 seconds, that means that most people are
Most of
actually
it
staying and watching to the end.
watching to the end. Yeah.
But you got to write a certain way in order to make that happen. And so that's something that I've been learning a lot about with this last round, this probably the last
Mhm.
dozen or so that I've been working on is just
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
more about the structure of the story. What is that hook going to be?
Yeah.
How does it pay off in the end and all of that sort of stuff. So, I mean, there is some nuance to it, which admittedly I did not understand in the beginning. And that's part of where using the AI, it's not just do this for me. It's
Yeah.
what's working, what isn't. Okay, why didn't that work? Okay, help me
Okay.
understand that. Why did this work? Okay, help me understand that. And
Yeah.
so I'm learning this
Yeah.
process as I go, which is helping me to do better and better with the actual the behind the scenes stuff before the video actually makes it out.
Yeah.
And then, that doesn't mean I'm still going to post a video that's going to fall flat. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I hit
Right.
40,000 on one. So
Yeah.
now they're all going to be amazing. No, that's not the expectation. It's still a constant learning process and trying to
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
the right the right formats or whatever. But I'm having fun doing it, and so that makes it easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that would be. Um, okay. So since you've offered such inspiration, Are you will you be offended if any other voice talent like this one here might take your inspiration and kind of go my own direction with it? Because I'll tell you, my dream job, this is my dream VO job for anybody out there listening. I want to do in-show narration on HGTV.
Yeah.
I love DIY. I love
Yep.
home improvement.
Yep.
We've done some really cool, like a couple years ago. In fact, I have all this video footage of our bathroom reno that we did because when our kids had all left home, it's like, okay, this bathroom is sad. Let's redo it. And it was, it was quite a journey, but I've got it all on video and I just need to put it all together and do it. So, so that's an area where I thought I need to just get started on this and put these up on Instagram for starters and then maybe on LinkedIn. So
I would be more offended if you didn't do it at this point,
Oh,
because
good. Okay.
what is the point in sharing all the, as a coach, for me anyway, I'm like,
Yeah,
what is the point
yeah.
in giving all this advice if you're not going to do anything with it? So I say, go for it. I mean, the
So we
internet
have your
is a big
blessing?
place, and
Okay.
there are opportunities for all of us. And so
Yeah, okay.
I say, I mean, obviously, yes, of course, go and do it, but go in realistically.
Okay.
Don't go in thinking, I just got to create a handful of videos, and it's going to go viral and blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and maybe it will. I don't know, right? You could
Yeah.
create that. Like, who hasn't been through a bathroom renovation, right? That's something that resonates with everybody, regardless of who
Yeah.
you are and where you're at in life. That resonates, but have an overarching strategy for how this all comes together. I think that's where you really draw all the value from it. It's
Right,
not just
right.
about creating the videos. It's thinking through, who do I, what shows do I want to narrate for, and what kind of
Yeah.
content could I
Yeah.
do that would attract those producers potentially, or get me in front of those people? How can
Yeah.
I leverage this into, are there opportunities that are being posted in that space, online casting? Do I have a home renovation playlist or a DIY playlist where home builders, paint companies, wallpaper,
Yeah.
whatever, when they come on to Voice 123 and they do a search, and my name pops up, because, oh my gosh, she's already done a wallpaper spot. Let's have
Yeah.
her, let's
Yeah.
invite her.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
do I leverage this into creating new pages for my website, that now when somebody's doing, I'm creating a new series for HGTV and I need to find a narrator, and you happen to have a page on your website that talks about you being an expert narrator for HGTV DIY series, you get
Yeah.
to be the returned result in ChatGPT, and now somebody just landed on your website. So just think through the whole
Okay.
strategy of what that looks
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and be prepared to do it consistently over the long term. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're building an audience on LinkedIn, if you're doing in-person networking, if you're
Yeah.
doing email marketing, if you're doing content creation, all of this stuff works when you do it consistently over the long term.
Over the long term. Right, right. Yeah. Consistency is key. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What is your goal in terms of how many videos you try to push out a month? Is it like a couple a month, or do you do one a week?
I was
Because
doing one
sometimes,
a week. I was
okay,
doing one a week. I started doing two a week, which
that's a lot.
sometimes is
That's a
more
lot.
manageable than others. And
Okay.
so, but yeah, the goal was to ultimately get it to a point where I could do two a week. And I was doing two a week, and I had gotten ahead, which gave me a little bit of a cushion. But you know
Yeah.
how it is, life happens, and then the
Life
cushion
happens. And
disappears.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
so it is now, as we're recording, it's Thursday afternoon at 12:30, and I don't have a video for tomorrow yet. And
Okay.
so I've still got a couple of podcast interviews to record today. I have to go to my 13-year-old daughter's grade 8 graduation tonight. Like, I don't know. Am I going to be up until 2 o'clock in the morning editing a video for tomorrow? Or am I just going to have to skip it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm
Yeah.
trying, at the very least, I want to try to get a new one out every week. But
Every
I
week.
mean, you got to
Okay.
do what's realistic for you too. But
Right.
I
Right.
think with this type of strategy, I think once a week is a good place to start.
Okay. Okay.
7 days is an eternity on the internet. And so
That's true.
you
Yeah.
post a
Yeah.
video on Monday, and maybe by Wednesday or Thursday, it's stopped getting any traction at all. And now you're going to
Yeah.
wait until Monday to post the next one. And so you had this big ride up initially,
Yeah.
but then it falls off, and you're starting at the bottom again. I would rather have the ride up, and then just when it starts to dip, boop, here's another
Do
one.
another one.
And
Yeah. Oh,
you know
that
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Yeah. That's good strategy. Okay. Okay. That's good.
All right.
Oh, wow. This has been great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you
hope it's
for
been
sharing.
helpful.
Oh, it's been very helpful. And yeah, because I have loved watching them, and they've been very inspiring. So I appreciate the chance to visit with you about it. And thanks
Right
for
on.
having me on your podcast. Thank
Let
you
me know
so
when the
much.
first video's out. I want to see
I
it.
will. I will. Okay.